Having a glass of water first thing in the morning is something that many of us do as if it were the most natural thing in the world, almost like an unconscious habit. Awaken, take a drink of water, and then proceed to start the day. However, due to the fact that it is so common, drinking water is frequently disregarded. Few individuals ever ask themselves, is the water I'm drinking actually helping to nourish my muscles, retain energy, and support recovery after a long night's sleep? And here's something that very few people will tell you. Although people remember to eat nutritious food and take their vitamins, they will never ask themselves this question. After the age of 60, drinking ordinary water is no longer sufficient to maintain the strength of your muscles. It is no longer the case that your body absorbs as it once did. It is faster for muscle cells to lose water. There is a decrease in the capacity to retain minerals. Additionally, if you are not attentive, you can find that you are drinking a lot of water, but you are still experiencing feelings of fatigue, weakness, and a tendency to get cramps, tight muscles, or poor balance. The good news is that there is. You may restart muscle healing, enhance flexibility, and assist your body in retaining water exactly where it is required the most inside your muscle fibers, by making a few simple adjustments and adding the appropriate components to your water. In today's video, I will discuss 4 nutrients that are not only easy to use, but are extremely effective. These ingredients are all supported by scientific research and have the potential to improve muscle hydration, prevent muscle loss, and boost recovery after the age of 60. The best thing is that they are simple to locate, simple to use, do not have a disagreeable taste, and they are safe for older folks, even those who are managing chronic diseases such as diabetes, high blood pressure, or persistent fatigue. In particular, the last item on this list might be the one that takes you by surprise the most. It is something that is quite recognizable. There are a lot of individuals who already have it at home, but when it is taken at the appropriate time and in the right way, it may significantly enhance hydration, reduce inflammation, and assist your muscles in recovering after a walk, a light workout, or even simply a night's sleep. I can assure you that you will want to watch this film all the way through to the conclusion. Let me know if you have any thoughts before we get started. I'm curious in how you typically begin your morning. Have you ever experimented with adding something to your water in order to assist your body in recovering more swiftly? Please leave a comment down below. Everyone is interesting to me, and I am looking forward to traveling with you on this adventure. In that case, let's get started. In addition, the first component will demonstrate to you that a single modification to the amount of water you drink on a daily basis can have a discernible impact on the way your muscles look and feel. Lemon and mineral salt are the first ingredients in this recipe, building the groundwork for muscle recovery using only water as the ingredient. Those who believe that drinking sufficient amounts of water is sufficient to maintain the hydration of their muscles after the age of 60 may be missing the most essential component. In point of fact, pure water on its own does not remain in the body for an extended period of time unless it is combined with a few components that are quite minor but vital. The combination of lemon and mineral salt, which is something that everyone has in their kitchen, is one of the simplest strategies to assist water in genuinely absorbing into muscle tissue, remaining within muscle cells, and supporting your daily recovery. Let's begin with lemon, shall we? The addition of a single teaspoon or a thin slice of fresh lemon juice to your water not only makes it more interesting to drink, but it also alters the way in which your body takes in water. Citric acid, which is found in lemons, is a mild acid that yet performs an important role. The water is able to enter the bloodstream more effectively as a result of the activation of water absorption channels in the small intestine and the mild adjustment of the pH of the water for this purpose. After the age of 60, when the body begins to respond more slowly to thirst and when the amount of water that is retained in muscle tissue steadily decreases, this is of utmost importance. How about salt made from minerals? This is when a lot of people who are older start to be cautious because they believe that salt causes high blood pressure. Nevertheless, that is a widespread misperception. In this context, we are not referring to conventional table salt. Rather, we are referring to a very little quantity of balanced mineral salt that contains potassium, magnesium, and sodium in the appropriate proportions that the body requires. When you add a few grains of high-quality sea salt or a pinch of sugar-free electrolyte powder to water, you are delivering electrolytes, which are essential for maintaining fluid balance and, more importantly, for assisting water in remaining inside muscle cells. Consider the muscles in your body to be sponges. In the absence of any means to contain it, water has the potential to flow through and evaporate rapidly. Electrolytes perform the function of anchors, stopping water from escaping from within each muscle cell for the purpose of preserving suppleness and preventing atrophy. Magnesium in particular, which is frequently lacking after the age of 60, has a role in the activation of enzymes that repair muscle tissue, prevent cramps during the night, and increase general strength. In a study that was published in Clinical Interventions in Aging, researchers discovered that increasing the amount of light electrolytes and vitamin C from citrus fruits that older persons consumed in their water for just 10 days led to an 18% improvement in the hydration of their muscle cells. It was found that muscle fatigue decreased and recovery time after light activity was greatly accelerated. It is important to keep this in mind if you are concerned about sourness or acidity. Not much is required of you. Only 1 to 2 thin slices of lemon or a half teaspoon of fresh lemon juice combined with a very small amount of natural mineral salt, such as pink Himalayan or Celtic sea salt, are required. You can either mix it with your morning water or drink it over the course of the day. To improve the flavor, add a few slices of cucumber or fresh mint leaves. These ingredients have a cooling and calming effect on the liver, and they also help with detoxification. Additionally, if someone tells you that drinking plain water is sufficient, keep in mind that your body needs more than just water. So that it may perform its functions properly, it requires water in addition to electrolytes and natural carriers. The rehydration of your muscle fibers is a deliberate process that occurs with each and every sip of water that contains lemon and mineral salt. A simple action that can completely alter the way your legs move, the way you feel about your stability, and even the quality of sleep you get. Furthermore, if you believe that this simple method is sufficient, you need only wait for the second component, a method that is less harsh and more appetizing to assist your muscles in maintaining their hydration, particularly on hot days or after a lengthy stroll. The next step is to investigate it. Electrolyte powder is the second component of the recipe, facilitating the passage of water to your muscles by unlocking the route. Electrolyte powder is the next natural update, a powerful yet gentle technique to help water go deeper and remain longer inside your aged muscle fibers. If lemon and mineral salt are the simple first step toward rehydrating your muscles, then electrolyte powder is the next natural upgrade. Not only do you drink less water as you get older, but you also lose the ability to adequately retain the water that you do actually consume. Muscle cells, which were originally sponge-like and flexible, begin to lose their ability to hold water as a result of a deficiency in electrolytes, which are molecular keys. Choosing the appropriate electrolyte powder is the best approach to restore these minerals in a form that your body can absorb nearly immediately. If you choose it carefully, you can achieve this optimal result. What exactly is included in a high-quality electrolyte powder after all? It is a clever combination of sodium, potassium, magnesium, and calcium that is blended together in the appropriate proportions for the human body. Magnesium is involved in more than 300 enzyme activities alone, many of which are directly related to the contraction and relaxation of muscles, as well as the repair of damaged muscle tissue. Magnesium plays a crucial role in all these enzyme reactions. Together, sodium and potassium strive to maintain a balance between the osmotic pressure within and outside of your cells. They do this by functioning as open doors that allow water to enter and remain within your muscle fibers rather than just flowing through and being flushed out. A study that was conducted in 2022 and published in the journal Nutrients discovered that the intracellular hydration of older persons increased by about 30% after only 5 days when they drank water that had electrolytes that were appropriately balanced. On the other hand, typical plain water did not generate any significant change. Most notably, the electrolyte group experienced significant reductions in symptoms such as silent dehydration, muscle tiredness during walks, popping knees upon standing, and residual discomfort after sleeping. There is, however, a significant obstacle. There are a lot of older persons who believe that electrolyte powders are just for people who have diarrhea, go to the gym, or are athletes. Nevertheless, the fact of the matter is that persons over the age of 60 are among the most at-risk populations for electrolyte imbalance, not because they engage in strenuous physical activity, but rather because their kidneys begin to excrete water and salt at a faster rate, while at the same time their capacity to feel thirst gradually decreases.
In addition, if you have ever had tingling in your hands or feet, cramping throughout the night, or exhaustion that you cannot explain after going for a stroll, it is possible that it is not weakness. For all intents and purposes, it could simply mean that your body does not have sufficient electrolytes to retain water in the desired locations. If you do decide to use an electrolyte powder, it is important to select one that does not contain any sugar, artificial coloring, or caffeine products. It is important to look for a sodium, potassium, and magnesium ratio that is balanced. There are also some high-quality brands that include vitamin C or zinc, both of which are beneficial to your immune system and connective tissues, which are essential components in the process of muscle healing. Just a little piece of advice. Begin by combining a half teaspoon of the substance with 500 milliliters of water and drinking it slowly in the morning or after going for a walk. The difference that you will most likely notice is that you will feel more alert, more stable on your feet, and no longer experience dizziness while standing fast. The most important thing is that you will be establishing the optimal internal environment for your muscle cells to absorb and retain water, which is a situation that is essential for the regeneration of your muscles. Greater mobility and avoidance of atrophy are both important. You should change your way of thinking about electrolytes now if you have always believed that they are exclusively beneficial for people who are unwell or athletes. After the age of 60, water cannot perform its function on its own without the assistance of electrolytes. And with just a single, relatively insignificant option, such as electrolyte powder, you have in your own a potent yet delicate instrument that can preserve your muscles on a daily basis with nothing more than that glass of water. Stay here with me if you are seeking for something that is even more natural, has a refreshing flavor, and offers the same significant hydration advantages as the previous option. You might be surprised at the next component. A well-known fruit is used in its most unadulterated and practical form to produce this product. The next step is to investigate it. The freeze-dried coconut water is the third component of the recipe, a natural electrolyte that can assist your muscles in retaining water and recovering after the age of 60. It is possible that you have heard someone say, "Drink coconut water to rehydrate faster." This is not just an old adage, it is actually true. It is a fact that has been verified by scientific research. And now we come to the truly fascinating portion. The power of coconut water may be harnessed directly in your usual glass of water by just adding a tablespoon of freeze-dried coconut water powder to transform your water into a coconut water beverage. Some people may not like drinking fresh coconut water. Because it goes bad so rapidly, it is difficult to preserve, and it is not always simple to find coconuts that are clean and fresh at the store. However, the more recent freeze-drying technique has produced an additional alternative. In addition to being lightweight, pure, and convenient, it also maintains virtually all of the natural electrolyte profile of fresh coconut water.
By dissolving it in water, you are providing your body with the optimum combination of electrolytes, which assists muscle cells in maintaining a deep level of hydration, improves recovery, and prevents the loss of muscle that is associated with aging. The natural potassium, magnesium, sodium, and calcium content of dry coconut water is far higher than that of many commercially available sports drinks, which are typically loaded with sugar, artificial colors, or caffeine. All of this in the appropriate amounts for your body. In point of fact, the potassium content of coconut water is significantly higher than that of the majority of other electrolyte drinks, and is about twice as high as that of bananas. Because potassium is essential for the maintenance of the electric charge both inside and outside the cell membrane, it assists in the retention of water inside the muscle rather than allowing it to be lost through urine. Your muscles will recover more quickly, experience less pain, and maintain their suppleness rather than becoming dry, tight, or cramped when they are better hydrated. Coconut water can rehydrate just as well or even better than many standard sports beverages, according to a study conducted by the International Society of Sports Nutrition. This is especially true for older persons, who are more likely to experience bloating and stomach discomfort when they consume coconut water. And here is something that the majority of people are unaware of. Coconut water has a trace quantity of glucose that the body naturally produces. It is not sufficient to cause a spike in blood sugar, but it is sufficient to facilitate the transfer of electrolytes and amino acids into muscle cells in a manner that is more effective through a process that works in conjunction with insulin. To put it another way, it is a more efficient and smoother method of delivering nutrients to your muscles, which is especially significant beyond the age of 60, when your body begins to exhibit minor insulin resistance and absorbs nutrients at a slower rate. Unfamiliarity is the most significant challenge that many people who are older face. Some people have never heard of freeze-dried coconut water and believe that it is a product that is only popular among young people or trendy. In actuality, however, it is one of the greatest solutions for anyone who is wanting to rehydrate in a wise manner, particularly if you do not enjoy the harsh flavor that is typically associated with standard electrolyte powders. In general, the flavor of the freeze-dried form is described as being light, somewhat sweet, and refreshing. It is quite simple to incorporate into your morning glass or your water bottle at any point during the day. Use of it is not difficult. Simply combine 1 teaspoon of freeze-dried coconut water powder with 300 to 500 milliliters of chilled water and whisk or shake the mixture lightly. A few drops of lemon juice or a slice of ginger can be added to the mixture in order to improve the flavor and provide gentle assistance for digestion. In the event that you feel light weariness, dry mouth, signs of cramping, or muscle tightness, drink it when you wake up after a stroll or whenever you feel any of these symptoms. Coconut water, in contrast to many other energy beverages or synthetic sports supplements, does not cause an increase in blood pressure, does not interfere with sleep, and does not overstimulate your nervous system. This is the unique feature of coconut water. Simply said, it is water and minerals which are just what your body needs to develop strength on a daily basis beyond the age of 60. If you believe that this is the most effective natural method of hydration after the age of 60, then you should wait for the following section, because there is one component that is sometimes misinterpreted and has been connected with bodybuilders for a long time, but in reality it is one of the most effective tools to prevent muscle loss and to assist your muscles in retaining water even when you are sleeping. The best aspect is that one only needs a very small amount, and it is completely risk-free for people of advanced age. It is time to investigate it.
The fourth component is low-dose creatine, which is 12 grams in quantity and helps boost muscle regeneration and cellular hydration even while you are sleeping. The majority of people automatically think of athletes, gym goers, or young guys who are attempting to grow muscle when they hear the term creatine on the tongue. On the other hand, if you are over the age of 60, you should put such assumptions to rest, since creatine, when taken in a modest dose, which is only 1 to 2 grams per day, is actually one of the most effective, well-researched, and safest tools that are now available to help you preserve muscle mass, regain strength, and avoid muscle dehydration as you get older. Creatine is not a hormone, a steroid, or a medication. It is not any of these things.
The liver and kidneys are responsible for the production of this natural substance, which is then stored in your muscles and utilized as a source of energy that is quick to respond anytime your muscles require movement. In this context, lifting something might refer to anything from ascending stairs to just standing up from a chair. The trouble is that around the age of 60, your body's natural production of creatine starts to decrease. Not only does this make you feel more exhausted, but it also hinders your capacity to recover from physical activity or other types of injuries. And this is something that very few people are aware of. Creatine is an essential component in the process of cellular hydration, which means that it encourages water to remain within muscle cells. As a result of the process of creatine being absorbed into a muscle cell, water is associated with it, in a manner that does not result in bloating or puffiness, but rather in a manner that assists the cells in remaining full and elastic, to remain metabolically active, and to be better equipped to rebuild. According to the findings of a study that was published in the Journal of Geriatric Physical Therapy, older persons who took a low-dose creatine in conjunction with light physical activity saw notable gains in lower body strength, walking speed, and balance after only 8 weeks of treatment. Specifically, the dosage is what is of utmost importance here. There is no requirement for you to consume 5 grams each day like younger athletes do. The benefits of pure creatine monohydrate can be obtained with as little as 1 to 2 grams of the supplement put into water on a daily basis. And when you combine creatine with water, particularly water that has been fortified with electrolytes or freeze-dried coconut, you create an optimal biological environment for creatine to enter muscle cells, bring water along with it, and perform its function of rebuilding muscle. Mentality is the most significant obstacle. Many people who are in their later years have heard that creatine is just for younger people who exercise weights, that it promotes water retention, and that it is harmful to the kidneys. However, let the findings of the medical research to speak up. Studies conducted over an extended period of time on healthy older adults, including those with chronic health concerns, have demonstrated that low-dose creatine is fully safe for the kidneys, does not interrupt the electrolyte balance, and does not have an effect on blood pressure when it is taken appropriately. A benefit that is less well known is also available. It's not simply muscles that are supported by creatine. Also, it is beneficial to the brain. It helps enhance the amount of energy that is stored in nerve cells, which is essential for minimizing mental weariness, improving attention, and lowering brain fog after the age of 60. The benefits of taking creatine before going to bed, which is when the body and brain are in the process of fully recovering, are considerably more potent than they would be otherwise. The optimal time to take it is here. At the end of the day, incorporate 1 to 2 grams of pure creatine monohydrate into a glass of warm water. It is possible to combine it with freeze-dried coconut water or water from tart cherries. It is simple to consummate, odorless, and tasteless. Therefore, it is easily absorbed. It is not necessary to consume it as a meal.
Every single night, you should do this one simple action, but it is a strong one that will help protect and repair your muscles the next day. You now have 4 elements that are not only easy to use, but also strong, and they have the potential to transform your daily glass of water into a genuine muscle healing tool. There is no requirement for costly supplements. It is not necessary to completely change your diet. If you make a few minor adjustments to the water you drink in the morning or after you've finished an activity, your body will notice a difference. If the material presented here has provided you with a fresh viewpoint or something to contemplate, please leave a comment below. Have you ever experimented with adding something to your water in order to assist your body in recovering more swiftly? Which changes have you seen in your physique since you became 60 years old? We take the time to read each and every remark, and we value your feedback. It is also important to remember to follow excellent guidance, which is where you will always get science-based health guidelines that are applicable to your body after the age of 60 plus. In this path toward living a life that is strong, healthy, and empowered, there is still a great deal more to come. Together, let's keep moving forward.
It is imperative that you take care of your body as it continues to provide you with care on a daily basis.